The light from the Infernus Master Eco stick reveals his surprised but amiable expression. Enriched lips is split and fresh bruise is blossoming on his cheekbones. Lord Captain, didn't expect to see you in this compartment. Are you out on a stroll, taking the sights of your domain? The blue glow of plasma is especially striking at this time of the watch. You are most mawkish Infernus I've ever met, Master Montag. A burly man in Convel's furls his bushy eyebrows. His sparse hair stands on end. Your Lordship, welcome. I'm Shift Foreman Niger, in charge of this section. If you need anything, I'm here to help. Infernus Master, what actually are you doing here? I'm carrying out a routine drive inspection. The regulation requires scheduled check to make sure the insulation isn't weakened, the sensors haven't been tampered with, and the reactor isn't about to blow anytime soon. Just business as usual. It is strange that the senior officer is conducting the inspection alone. According to the regulation, there should be an entire squad of Inferni, and personal presence of the Infernus Master is necessary only in emergencies. Heinrich, why are you really here? Found me out, have you? Heinrich gives you a wink and pulls on his Ico stick. I'm not really here about the reactor. I heard a rumor that you gone to investigate the plasma drive chambers, so I thought I'll make sure everything went smoothly. Your Lordship is accustomed to associating with people of your rank, or officers at the very least, but here, this place is home to Voidfarers of simpler manner, whose clan custom may be unfamiliar to you. The Voidfarer of simpler manner furrows his brow. Our custom as decent one, Master Montag. I'd rather boil myself in plasma than let anything happen to the Lord Captain. No offense, Niger, but if you can find even 3 people in this bay who can give a report without turning the air blue, I'll gladly admit I was wrong. Enrich grins at the now silent Niger. You're a good bunch. I hate to see you insult his lordship with some foolishness and not even realize it. I require no protection, Infernus Master. As your lordship wishes, it may as well carry out a bay inspection. Then, since I'm here, I won't interfere in your business. Ninja, have you ever seen a symbol that looks like a serpent in front of a star? Somebody keeps dubbing it on the equipment and bulkheads. If I find these scoundrels, I'll tear these heads off and send them for servitorization. The shift former frowns. It is some kind of sedation, I didn't know. If you see one of these, let me know. We'll try to find these artists. I want to know more about this bay. We are proud of our chambers. Power feeds the ship main engine from here. There are other drives on the ship, but ours is the mightiest. That's to say, we do important work. Working with plasma is dangerous, but we have a good crew and not too many incidents. The esteemed tech priests are satisfied with us, the machine spirits are all working as they should, the Inferni don't complain about us either. We fix cracks in the reactor vessel on time, and we fix leaks. Shitswoman, tell me about yourself. What kind of person are you? Niger look at you in confusion. I am a voidsman, your lordship. Grew up on footfall, joined the crew at 14, spent my whole life in this bay. We've raised no family and made no fortune, but I've climbed my way up the ranks. I don't know anything but my trade and this compartment. I am my trade at this compartment, Lord Captain.
I tread a path unexplored. Powers unseen uncover my path.
I am registering 137 violations of the Catechism of Maintenance and Operation here. Initializing enumeration. 1. Keep the screw thread as your augmented eye.
Oh no, not again. How do I turn him off? Anybody?
I'm still new to the art of exploring. My warp sight reveals something.
Embrace true power.
Esteemed Tech Priest Delta, this is unacceptable. For the 10th time, you've sent us the same faulty servitors. It's been over 2 weeks and we still can't raise the lift that's stuck between our platforms and platform 92M, all because of servitors. For the love of the throne, decommission these things if you can't fix them. Respectively, Shift Form and Ninja.
Let's seize the opportunity. I tread a path unexplored.
Need you bows differentially. How goes the sage, your lordship? There's an old cache hidden under one of the serpent symbols. They're just what we need, more secret stashes. I hope there was nothing forbidden in it. Forgive me, your lordship, but voidsmen are simple folk. I've been trying to wean them of their grubby habits for years, but give them anything worth having and all they want to do is hide in a hole like a rat. I found this in one of your caches. What is this? Your thick eyebrows knit together angrily, and you almost think you see power charge jolt across them. We've got smugglers on the loose. Who else would be hiding these strange messages? I'll have them all drawn and quoted on a two-bine. I will. Now I'd like to find out what they're smuggling. I found this in cache mark with serpent. Need you hold the weapon as if he's going to bite him, sweat beading in his forehead. Machine spark shake me. A homemade weapon and assembled right in the compartment. The markings are the same as those on local machine parts. This is very serious matter. It seems someone's plotting a riot and secretly building their own arsenal from scavenged materials right under our noses. We need to find and capture whoever set up those caches and hid their weapons. The shipswoman shrugged sheepishly. To tell you the truth, I'm no good at hunting rule breakers. It's not what I do. You give the orders and we will do it. We should send an ambush near the caches. Sooner or later someone will come to check on them. The shift foreman thick fingers drummed throughout on his tool belt. If these guys are smart, they'll spot the enforcers near the cache and stay out of sight, and your lordship will be spotted ever quickly. Then we'll use Inferni. They often carry out inspection here. No one will suspect them. Hey, Monte, come over here. We need a couple of your braver boys and girls for the job. Nietzsche smiles and adds more quietly. We need people to keep watch over something, and maybe to break a few noses. Clenching his fist until his knuckles crack, Enrich resolutely says, We'll help. I have a couple of people in mind, though, lads. I'll get them here right away. I'm ready. Let's catch the vermin. Enrich smacks ominously. He throws the acoustic bat on the floor and puts it out of his boot. Consider the dead back caught, Nero's Vox. The man nearly before you has an ungainly build, a stubborn jaw and a heavy gaze. He looks no different from any other workers in his compartment except for the tattoo on his forearm, his design resembling a worm devouring a star. One of the Infernus workers is holding the weapon taken from the prisoner, exactly like the one that was in the cache. The Master at Arms regards the Infernus sternly. The weapon handed over. What you saw, keep it to yourself. She forced out the words through clenched teeth. Your cooperation with the enforcers will be noted. Study the prisoners. The criminal of the tattoo look fresh, standing out sparkly against the color of his skin, which means that he's a very recent addition. You look closely and you notice a pair of scars at the base of his neck, suspiciously reminiscent of an almost healed bite. Well, do you feel like talking yet? The prisoner gives you a smile of a man condemned and snaps. I've got nothing to say to you, heretic. Choking with rage, Sauerberg grabs the maul from her belt. She rasps. Allow me, Lord Captain, please. Omi, Enrich's menacing scowl has instantly robbed him of his friendly charm. I'll be happy to oblige. I will oversee the interrogation myself. As you command, although I believe this zealot will require some effort. Questioning fanatics is a long and exhilarating process. Inject him with substances that break the subject's will, but be sure not to melt his brain. The chemical concoction bursts the man's mind from within. His muscle twitch tense to the point of his sinew cracking. A torment of nightmares born from the subconscious assault his brain, but he cannot even scream. He moans, choking on his own saliva. The man whispers incoherently but girds his teeth. Your song, I hear it. I won't break. Sabrak smiles longly. You much longer, not much longer, your lordship. You will retch up on your short-sighted belief in your own courage, along with your profession instincts. A haze of psychic frost coats the floor of your feet. You and the rest perceive only glimpses and shadows of the Empyrean terrors creeping through the weakened veil, but the warped senses are weakness in the minds of the wounded and frightened man and sinks his claw deep. The prisoner begins to shake, his face contorted in a grimace of pain and horror, blood bursting from his nose. His eye rolls up as if to gaze inside his head and think that no living soul should have to witness. A gurgling sob falls from the man's lips. Stop, I'll talk. Sabral looks at him with a radiant smile. The prisoner is ready to cooperate, your lordship. Whom do you serve? The cult of Ravenous Star, the true believers, the righteous, the purest congregation, they who hear the song of his angel. The angel, is that the old sorcerer who appeared before me and promised my demise? Did he brainwash you all, or is it something else leading you? Old sorcerer, no, the angel is not the woeful human form. His splendor, his visage is divine inspiration of the many-armed emperor. You, faithless one, were granted the honor of gazing upon the Magus, our good shepherd, our messenger. If you beheld the angel, you would scratch your own brain out through your eye sockets, for you would realize the depth of your wickedness before him. Many armed, a deeper furrow appears on Sauerbrach brow. Blasted, Lord Captain, we are dealing with the extreme dangerous Xenos cult that excels at hiding among humans. What do you know about our enemy? Very little. As per regulation, every Master-at-Arms passes on special instruction to their successor, instructions that more resemble disturbing tales. Some of them mention genetic cults, covert clans, cliques, and sects that all share one common trait, Xenos infestation. These things pass themselves off as ordinary people, as rabble of preachers, corrupting new groups. They pray to their unholy idol, which then often refer as the many-armed emperor. They create ever-growing families and produce offspring. Hideous at first, but when each new generation more and more human in appearance, and then they rise up. I've heard of them, and every tale was awash in blood. They are the reapers of the great devourer, predators that have bloomed from its seeds. Beasts whose gift is to turn the weak spirited into their enthralled fingers. Beware of them, Edelach. When they are near, even a loyal friend may turn out to be a messenger of death. Why the many-armed emperor? Their arms, Lord Captain. These Xenos have more arms than normal. They twist and pervert our faith, probably for the sole reason that it gives them blasphemous pleasure. Why did they choose to act among the rabble specifically? The lower decks have plenty of dark corners for the Xenos to lie in wait. Commoners are too dull-witted and spineless to identify the threats before it's too late. And at the same time, they are dull-witted and spineless enough to serve as cannon fodder to be thrown at the cult's enemies when the uprising begins. What is their objective? Power, bloody sacrifice, the god? The end goal is always mutiny. They can prepare for many generations, accumulating weapons and numbers until one day they attack. That day is the day of revelation, the apostosis of the profane faith. They think that on the day the blasphemous starship will descend from the void and elevate the worshippers. I wish to know everything about you, Vicult. We believe in many armed emperor, he who waits, for his children cast out into the unknowable abyss. He is kind, merciful, he uproots tyranny of evil. He sends his angel to the righteous, and angels can follow. The man lowered his gaze with an expression of surprise. It seemed he has described his partly religion in its entirety. This is a pawn, a mindless tool. He was brainwashed and forced into submission. He is not even the disturber of the ideology. He was merely fed the rudiments, and without trusting him with anything important, they send him out to serve and die. How did the conspirators recruited you? I believe I found him. I bowed to him. His angel skin granted me revelation. It entered my flesh. It let me join the congregation. The man's world devolved into nonsensical muttering. Why are you plotting? A mutiny? Death, yours, even broken, he mutters, a spiteful seer. Fake captain, the faithfuls are already aiming at your heart. I was ordered to stockpile weapons so that when the fateful hour comes, the righteous would not stand unarmed. I would say that these improvised weapons are that much better than fighting with bare hands, but until we are done with the cleanup, every enforcer will carry a combat knife fit for cutting through nets. Where are you hiding? Where are your leaders? In the sanctuary, a tomb for heretics, a quiet place. The dynastic crypt. The vermin have infiltrated the crypt, holding the bodies of the worthy servants of the dynasty. No one is allowed inside, save for the Lord Captain personal retinue, and they dared. But how? The crypt's defense are impenetrable. I presume our next objective is the Von Valencia of the dynastic crypt. Yes, your lordship. We must attack now, while we still have the element of surprise. I will lead the strike force, but I will require your presence and Confessor Adelbert's help. Fierce machine spirits guard the dead. They won't let an armed troop pass without a direct command from the rogue trader and the ring of the ship's confessor. I'll meet you at the doors. Casting a glance at the prisoner, wishing incoherently under his breath, Sauerbach adds offhandedly, "And this virus calm. With your permission, I'll throw out the airlock. I doubt he will be of any use." Such forgiveness deserves a reward. Such for rightness deserves a reward. I give you a cage in my own quarters. You are my now personal slab of meat, and your torture has only just begun. The prisoner lets out a long howl filled with despair. It will be done, your lordship.
The world will bow.
Adalbert, the ship's confessor, solemnly raises his hands above the altar and sparks mournfully. Heed me, O guardian spirits. We have come to punish a great declaration. Heresy has made its lair in the dynastic crypt and disturbed the peace of our honored dead. I beg you to perform the ritual on unsealing and allow passage. A hand-shaped panel opens in the altar of unsealing. The panel is lined with sharp spikes. Lord Captain, we not require your blood. The crypt will not open without the rogue trader genetic signature. The panel's mechanical teeth sting your flesh and you feel your blood trickling down the small ducts into the altar bowels. You hear a click and the crypt doors open with a piercing crack. Beyond them you see nothing but darkness. Sacrilege! The hallowed crypt must remain illuminated at all times to drive away the shadows from the place of the ancestral final response. This was done on purpose, I'm sure of it. Our coming is expected. Vanguard, provide the Lord Captain with Illuminator service call. She gives you a surprisingly easy smile and bows. Take care, your lordship, and watch out for dark corners. Move out for host Von Valencius.
For the Emperor! I'll show you how it's done. Moving out.
Go, go, go! It is that. That's it. I'll see.
Your lordship, wait, there's been Enrich burst into the antechambers and stopped short when he sees the open door and the gloom beyond. Damn it, I'm late. I meant to report an act of sabotage. They are cut off the Prometheum supply to the Crypt Lightning. You are walking into an ambush. Whatever through darkness or well-lit halls we are going in. I fear we might be underestimating the enemy. The enforcers have already done it once. I, the Infernus Guild, would join you in this fight if you would have us. To get inside, the aberration would have had to make a passage for themselves somewhere in the crypt's perimeter. No one knows the maintenance tunnel better than us. We could find this breach and attack the enemy from the rear. I doubt a few workers armed with axes and torches will make much of a difference, but we would be honored to die in your name. Then you will use the means you have to fight and die if it's required of you. We will, your lordship. Dying is second nature to us. The Emperor protects. The Infernus Master and his people leave the hall. The doors of the crypts are open. It is time to step into darkness. Going the wrong way.
The world trembles beneath my feet. Powers unseen uncover my path.
These bones of the dead should be serving the living. They could be used in rites or divinations, or as amulets. Why are they here, gathering dust and concealed from people's eyes?
This statement is true. The remains could be usefully processed into corpse search, and the premises refitted to house the vessel's systems.
Ooh, power. Intriguing.
Operation successful.
Empyrean guides my gaze. I tread a path unexplored.
A trivial.
Child of Azurion, doomed to spend an eternity alone amid the dust of Monkey. It is not my place to judge your choice of path, and yet, my soul grieves. Do you not hear its cry?
Let's seize the opportunity. Xenos filth. Repent or perish!
Isn't this a job for the... As duty demands. If I may, you don't frighten me. Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Destroyed!
If it serves your cause. I understand your intent. If I must. If it serves your cause.
The Sire's song guides me. Your efforts amuse me.
As the tenets demand. Trust me, death is a blessing.
We bring deliverance.
Help me, Lord Captain!
An offering of blood.
Will do. Be gone! But of course. Anything else?
My resolve is unshaken.
On it. Will do.
The angel will reward us. I need no guidance. Purpose guides me. Ruin beckons. High momentum.
Activate calculated fury algorithm. Running binary override. Beyond the science. The scriptural product of that is an equation. Your life is a negligible variable. Request approved.
We bring deliverance.
I feel nothing. Fear nothing.
Battlefields are always drowned in scarlet. Now you're clad in scarlet. I'm not accustomed to the sun painted black. I am a navigator, not a servitor. If I may, ancestors guide me. This tedium is beneath me. I understand your intent. No weakness is hidden from my sight. If I hear you moving, no more.
Of course. Anything else? Though I gave thee my blood and my pain, thou hast ordained that I shall live. The shadows which brings me no pleasure. Come, the other side awaits. Let the blood of the wicked be shed as thou hast willed, as honor ordains. As the tenants demand. Trust me. Machine. I will not die in dishonor. Cover me! Will do. Wait, was that you? Or... On it!
By your own misery.
But of course. Will do. Why did I not foresee this? Was it you? Or...
I will triumph.
Emperor, give me strength.
serves your call. I am not your Zeus pet monkey. Serves your call. Deal death with my hands.
Will do. On it.
Swift.
Will do. They who discern the future on the battlefield.
Through chaos, I stride. Purpose guides me. One step closer. I will triumph.
Only the faithful will
Back now.
The true believers will inherit all.
Someone just hit the ground. Be careful not to cross my gaze. Me? How did I embrace, at least? How dare you! Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Bring deliverance. I will end your heresy!
I understand your intent. If it serves your cause. Not your zeal.
The dire song guides me.
I need no. What a satisfying demise.
They bring deliverance.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
More suffering.
If I... This tedium is beneath. The soul slips beyond the veil.
The man before you resembles a human being, but the scaled bony growths going from the bridge of his nose to the top of his bloated, hairless head, the grotesque cheekbones and the black claw of the meaty fingers leave no doubt that this creature is a genetic aberration. He utters in a cracking voice, black spikes spraying from his mouth. He has split the blood of the congregation. You have offended the purest of his chosen children, you heretic. The creature's last words elicited a nervous laugh from the nearby enforcers. The irony of his embodied preservation of the human from accusing you of heresy is not lost on them. The confessor whispers a quiet prayer. The master at arms is watching the old man every move, her lips twisting in contempt. Adalbert, how much of the crypt has been desecrated? The accursed spawn have disrespected the spirits of the dead, but thankfully they did not have enough time to wreak as much destruction as they could have. Many tombs have been disturbed, but what is the most outrageous, Adalbert carefully presents you with a sapphire blue gemstone. They sought to despoil Lady Theodora's urn. After her ladyship's cremation, her ashes were made into the magnificent relic, an example of resilience and purity. One of the heretics dared to lay claim to it. The sign of the gem takes Idira breath away. You catch her quiet whisper. She's beautiful, even in death she shines on. Irliet touches his spirit stone and it resonates with a soft, pearly glow. They may appear similar, and yet as bright as Montaigne relics are on the surface, they are hollow inside. They hold no memory, no life. Henceforth the relic shall remain in my keep. If such is your lordship wish, I see deep symbolism in this duty. The ashes of the other eminent dead, whose rest was disturbed, will be transferred to the Reliquary Chapel. Rites of redemption will be held day and night. Thousands of the ship's crew will be allowed to kneel before the relics and pray for the Lord Capstan health and the dynasty prosperity. Master Arms report. Cyberback gaze remains trained on the mutant. You notice deep wounds on her chest and shoulders, but she shows no sign of acknowledging their existence. Strike forces have cleared the side sections of mutants. The freaks thought like madmen, but they could not match the skill of the Von Valencia's enforcers. Once victory was secured, our pursuit and units made sure that none would escape. Our flamer squads are in the process of purging the crypt. All degenerates confirmed dead. Sir, I have rectified the consequences of your blunder, but that does not mean I have forgotten who was responsible for letting the stain spread on my ship. The Master at Arms lowers her head. Our honor is sullied. We have failed our forbearance. Our intrepidity and weakness are shameful, Lord Captain. Heinrich, I see you found a hole through which the mutants wormed their way inside. We have. The discovery cost the guild 68 souls. It was crowded in those tunnels. They set monsters on us, but few things can scare someone who has seen a fire in the Arsenal Bay. Well then, let's see what the ringleader has to say. You shall perish in the cold void, your heart shall beat its last under the light of uncertain stars, your lungs shall become trees of ice within your chest. You will never receive the grace of the many-armed emperor. The old man calls curse after curse down upon with a spiteful satisfaction. Nudge one of his wounds with the toe of your boot. The old man doubles over, but it's not pain or fear, but burning hatred that controls his face. Go on, torture me, I'll endure it all. My time may be up, but you are all doomed. I will gladly spit the words of the truth in your face, and they will burn you like acid. In death I will ascend to the host of the pure voices, and I will wait the day when you will pay for the shed blood of his children. It was you I saw in that vision. Are you the leader of the spawn? The mutant erupts in wet, exploring laughter. I am the herald of the pure. The many-armed emperor has blessed my mind with the ability to behold him, and I guided his children until you came and slaughtered us, heretic. The loathsome tribe has spawned a sorceress, Sauerbrach grimaces in disgust. No doubt to help them brainwash more victims as well the cultist ranks. What are you? Are you a mutant or Xenos? His face becomes a gloating grimace. We are the pure, we are the congregational children of the many-armed emperor, the genetic perfection of his existence. You will never understand. You are the inferior flesh. Your genes are woven from the feebleness of misery. We are the new curve of a spiral. We are one, and thus we are strong. Pascal's eyes flashes scarlet, growing brighter with every word. This statement is false. Only the true flesh is perfect. You are the scrap of ignorant meat, and devoted to genetic perfection, which you are not, will be ground into nothing but the cogs of the Omnisha. The old man shrinks his hisses as his face is bathed in the red light of the visor, itself framed by the shadow of writhing mechandrites. Who is the many-armed emperor? The true God who came through the void to us. His devout children. The universe is in the abyss of horrors, and only he can save us. But not you, vile heretic. You are all doomed. Why did you make your lair here in the crypt? None wonder in here. We were free to offer our prayers without fear or discovery, and the sight of dead heretics was pleasing. Trampling your bones was a righteous act. That is why I ordered the pure of sunder the walls of your bone vault, and make this place a sanctuary for the congregation. He sneers. You glance at the gaping hole in the adamantine bulkhead. It is almost unbelievable that the mutants were able to make a hole like that. They would have required truly powerful industrial equipment, and not the kind that can be easily assembled or stolen. Now I see why so many inspectors in the aviation compartment have had accidents. Are there more of you freaks on board? Where did you even come from? 40 years ago, the profane Theodora, the false sovereign, stopped at the trade outpost Heriocon Rim to replenish her crew. The outpost had long served as the bastion of the pure. My brethren and I were chosen to embark on a ship and prepare it for the coming of the many-armed emperor. This uprising against your godless domain has been many years in making. You notice that the crypt looks surprisingly undefiled even after all these years. The heretic could have turned it into an inconvincible nightmare, yet the signs of corruption are few and localized here. Heriocon Rim, that cesspool of abomination must be burned. Who knows how many ships there were infected over the decades? The man's face twists in rage and his milky eyes bulge. He hisses, "The many-armed emperor cometh. The true God shall avenge us, and when he does, I will laugh." His string of doomsday is silenced by a kick from the master at arms.
world trembles beneath my feet.
Kibble voice pulls from the going through a stack of reports. Domain Neros Vox, I wish to see you. Meet me in a secret crypt where we destroy the minions of heresy. It is important. Of course, we'll be there shortly. You hear genuine excitement with Kibble voice. I will be waiting, Domain Neros Vox. The bridge is thrumming with the sound of endless officer reports, the hum of an ancient mechanism, and the buzz of servo engineers. Among the usual servitors bustling into the fray, the Lord Captain notices a flash of flame-red hair. You posed the question to me long ago in Elantach, and now I'm here to present you with my answer. With a fluid grace, Elliot emerges from the shadows of the Captain's Bridge. Her face seems to glow under the lumen light, her expression slightly more pensive than usual. What did I ask you? We talk about how we each see the world in our own way. You were eager to know how our daddies see the world. Do you still wish to hear the answer? Of course, if you are ready to give it. Then listen closely to my answer, Elantach. You may struggle to comprehend what is to be said, being accustomed to revealing in your own might and skewing the world to suit yourself. Pitch your understanding not towards my words, but to the sense that lies hidden in the shade of the sound. Elet half closed her eyes, her words unfurling slowly and melodically. You try to split the world into pieces, to fragment it into light and dark, truth and lies, self and others. But I see the world as a single whole, and in this lies its simplicity and complexity. It is not enough simply to see the world and hear the voice, you must understand it. Think of the Lilithan, the world of which our path crossed. What is it truly? What is it in the essence? The Lilithan magnificence comes not from the green of its vast forest or from the depths of the waters. Its beauty is in the world, in a way it dances on the tongue, and even you, Elantach, can sense it. Try, say the word slowly, delicately, casting aside all stray thoughts. Feel, perhaps then you will see it. Close your eye, empty your mind, and say it. The world around you fades, and your perception instantly narrows, coming to a single point of focus of the tip of your tongue. Your tongue delicately tickles the roof of your mouth, and the sound slips along your throat with incredible slickness, warming as if it goes like a slip of fresh lay. The tip of your tongue touches the same place again, and air softly rushes from your chest. The sound like the susurration of leaves, and the wind waves through the forest canopy. Then your tongue taps your front teeth, and a gentle vibration spreads through your body, sending a shiver along your spine. Guarded interest gleams in your lit eyes when your gaze meet again. I think I'm beginning to understand. If your words are sincere, Elantach, then you are capable of seeing more than you do know. Instead of the lifeless clamour of monstrous mechanism, the roar of engines, and the disconstant voice of your followers, I hear and attend to silence. It arises the moments of spiritual serenity, and in that stillness we become witnesses to the transformation of our own inner world. Monkey lives past so swiftly, you rush through them for the sake of a chosen goal, but thoughts of transience and loss frightens you, and so you drive such thoughts away and drown yourselves in a daily tumult. Perish from fleeing moments which enter our lives and quickly vanish from them, that the soul's forwardness grows. A moment blooming and now wilting, the splendor of each lies in its ephemerity. So too the memories of those who have left our side and no longer walk the path with us. And in you, Elantach, I see much more than just another monkey. Your true essence lies in your will, which is capable of changing the world around you and within you. It lies in your ability to create and to understand your creation, and in your ability to destroy. It lies in with your kin's minds cannot grasp, with the primitive sight cannot behold, but I can see. Thank you for telling me how you see the world. And what do you make of it, Alanta? How differently do you see the world? I also see something greater in the world around me, something deeper than the outer guise of things. And what does this mean? Yelet asked with all her attention focused on your words. I find that I'm especially drawn to imperfection and destruction. Sometimes it is so. Yelet closes her eyes and thought she is sinking into her memory. Even the ruins of long-forgotten worlds contain the stories of the past and of those who came before us. Yelet says nothing for a time, silently watching you from under her half-lowered lids. Now that we have each shared our truth about this world, I would like to know if your thoughts about me align with those of your kin, Elantak, or if you see me differently. To me, you foreign yet beguiling world, Yelet, I hope that one day I will come to know you, and on that day my own world will become much deeper. I accept your answer, Lantak, as long as you do not attempt to get under my skin or demand something else of me. She places particular emphasis on the last few words. I will go now, Lantak. Guide your steel-winged bird. Kibela bows her head in a short greetings, her eyes particularly glow with anticipation. Within these walls, under the spectral watch of the dead, in the land that our deeds have cleansed of pestilence, I wish to take you on a journey, the ritual of finding light. She slowly brings a hand to your face and touches the corner of your eye. Sight is your ally and your foe, for it exists only to perceive deeds and be obvious to intentions. I will teach you to see without eyes, Dominverus Nox, and I was taught once. Will you permit me to sew your eyes shut and guide you through the ritual along the thread unseen? Well, I'm ready. In the gloom of the crypt, the needle in Kibela's hands could be mistaken for the flash of one of her blades. Close your eyes, Dominverus Vox, and humble your breathing in silent prayer to the Undying One. Your eyelids hurt after having been punctured with and stitched together with thread. Sensation muddles your thoughts and evokes an eerie dread from the depths of your heart. You are blind, not a single ray of light can creep into your world, and your only awareness about your immediate surroundings is based on subtle noise. Under the veil of pain, you hear Kibela's quiet voice. We accept his blessing with the single purpose to serve him in our unity stronger than any chains. Come to me, Dominus Vox. The sound of my voice will show you the way if you can unfether your heart. Darkness is merciless. You learn this while trying to hide from the nightmares that torment you. No matter how tightly you shut your eyes on those long nights, the haunting's vision would not leave you alone either in sleep or during waking hours. The moment Kibela applies the final stitch, you can feel it. The horrors are already here, lying in wait for you to make even a single misstep. And when you do, they will drown you in that merciless darkness. Focus on the pain. Focus all your attention on your physical suffering, and pain retreats as if intimidated by your resolve. You take a step, and then another. Suddenly, Kibala's voice seems to multiply as even words were being spoken by several copies of her in unison. Along the thread that formed the web, along the rays of the star whose heart turns eyes into flame, along the tracks we have left for one another, we shall come together in a unity that will become our revelation, in death which grants true sight, in death for which all are fated. Your knees buckle, the anxiety that has been with you since the beginning of the ritual now clamps around your throat like a collar steel. Conquer your weakness. You channel your forces of will to push suffocation aside, refusing to let it force you into your knees, and you can almost hear the ringing of metal as the collar around your throat finally loosens. The guiding thread of Kibala's voice shines in your mind. All who rest in those halls do so as a reward for the deeds they perform in his name. May the end of your journey be as glorious as the ones of all who came before you. Kibala trails off. Eventually she adds softly and quietly, "Take my hand, thus shall we walk into the halls we are destined for." I trust you. You take a step, and you feel the darkness touch you. Directly ahead you see Kibala holding your hand. Her eyes, so full of warmth, are looking at you. You found me despite everything. Now dive deeper. Immerse yourself in what unites us at this crossroads. The gloom begins to part as a razor-sharp blade cuts the stitches on your eyelids as one by one. You feel gentle touches your wounds sting a little, and at last you can see once more. The dim light of the crib binds you so badly that Kibala appears as a faceless dark silhouette before you. And once again you have witnessed my truth, Dominion of Vox. Kibala does not look at you. Her gaze seems to be directed inwards, or perhaps nowhere at all. Light has been found. We have passed another circle on our way to the truth at the heart of our bond. I saw a glowing labyrinth, just like the one you traced on the officer's desk. Kibala takes a deep breath. You saw it? Then you are walking down its winding paths, together with me. You must have truly come to know me if our minds have touched so. She frowns. I did not expect your trance to extend so deeply. I must think about this. This is not some metaphor. Your gift makes it clear that you and Kibala minds now share a psychic connection, one that both of you are helping to sustain. You were different just now, more feeling. We wear masks on our faces, not on our souls. The corners of the mouth twitches. It may be a spinner of death, but I'm still human inside, as are you. Thank you for the ritual. She touches your cheek with her fingers. No, I should be the one thanking you. If you are worthy of a ritual, I have never performed it for anyone before. A smile blossoms on her lips. You must return from Death's Hall onto the world, and please, Kibala presses her hand on your chest. All that the ritual has revealed to you, keep in your heart. It is your treasure alone. Lord Captain, the Lex mechanics assigned to the Astrophetic Chapel are reporting a significant drop in our communication potential. This may be consequence to the telepathic ritual in which your Lordship designed to participate. The forces report that Choir Master asked for an audience with the Lord Captain and has since locked himself in the chapel, refusing to let anyone in. As brazen as the audience request may seem, I cannot shake the feeling that is cry for help. The Master at Arms reports a disturbance in the Foundry Bay. A certain Nemesite, an avenging figure beloved by lower decks rabble, shot the commandant during the routine medical supply delivery and called the vessel's serfs to fight for battle life. The rabble immediately plunders the medical storehouse and proceed to smash other supply stations, slaughtering officers as they went. Nemesite has escaped and the situation on the deck is increasingly spinning out of control. The Master at Arms asks permission to employ the hardest possible treatment, not simply to restore order, but to avenge the dead commandants as well as the fallen enforcers. Discover the details of the commander's murder. Nemesite's reason for the attacks had to do with the widows of a respected foreman. She had delayed the queue by begging to be given Medicaid for her afflicted children, which the commandant refusing because her request exceeded the expenditure quota. The widow persisted and was given 10 lashes on the spot. That was when Nemesite fired the fatal shot that set off the mutiny on the compartment. What's Nemesite? The Master at Arms reports that this is the fourth Nemesite to operate on the lower decks over the past few years. The previous three were captured by enforcers and each openly identified themselves as Nemesite. The public execution evidently have no effect. People continue to rally around the hero as soon as one emergency and always believe in the invulnerability of their champions. The Seneschal points out that the Nemesites act in the same fashion. Wherever the rabble is feeling oppressed, they step forward, serving as a spark that ignites the fires of sedation. They target the officers most hated by the workers for their strictness and adherence to orders, with every murder bringing cheers from the commoners. The Vox Master shares the rumors about Nemesites that abound on the lower decks. Some say he erases from the blood of oppressed labours, some that he is in the vessel spirit of justice, others still believe he is an immortal hero. Such veneration makes it very difficult to capture the riffraff champion. In a light discovery of Stella Cult's cell onto the ship, Henrik von Kalox recommends paying special attention to the Nemesite story. The interrogator suspects that the escaped mutant is behind the incinement revolt. It is too similar to one tactics employed by these enemies of humanity. Request information about the Foundry Bay. It is a place of unbelievable heat and poisoned air, where scrap metal is melted down into plates that are later used to repair and refeed the hull. There are no critical facilities here, and the bay is fairly easy to isolate. This opens up opportunities for quelling unrest with no casualties among the enforcers. Authorize Master at Arms to punish the foundry workers as she sees fit. The punitive squad acts with the utmost brutality, breaking the will of the workers. The disfigured corpses of entire families serve as a long-lasting reminder of the inevitability of punishment. Lord Captain, Lady Auxilia was asked where she could find you. I sent her to your study. You can expect her in there shortly. Lord Captain, could you spare me a moment to discuss a personal matter? Cassia less than graceful movement betray her anxiety. She lowers her eyes slightly and fidgets with a satin handkerchief as she waits for you to answer. I'm Lord Captain once again, I see. Surely you know that you can call me by my name. I may, but I will not. I would not wish to overlap any boundaries around anyone, let alone Rock Trade himself. So why is this personal matter? I'm rather embarrassed to ask about something like this, but last I was here, I noticed a curious tome on your shelf of your personal library. A rather heavy-looking volume, bound in a warm, gilded cover with a symbol of the Adeptus Ministratorium on it. Martyrdom of Saint Visteria, I believe it was. Cassie waves her hands in the direction of the shelf, and the satin handkerchief slips out of her fingers. Oh. Cassia takes a quiet breath of frustration, but it does not escape you notice that her ruby eyes are intensely observing your reaction. The soft fabric tickles your lips, and the subtle scent envelops you like a thin veil. Cassia accepts the handkerchief with a nod of gratitude, and for the first time gives you a look filled with warmth and affection. Thank you, Lord Captain. I believe I should return to my chambers now. Nod. She graces you with a half-hidden smile and swiftly leaves the study.
Embrace true power.
An unpleasant heaviness grows in your head as if a vice verse slowly tightens its grips on your mind. The Choirmancer is kneeling, his burnt-out eyes peering into the void. He raises his head and you see weary old Mum, weak and frightened. He whispers, "She is here. Adeline has returned. She is asking me for help, but you scare her. She's hiding from you. You will not harm her, will you?" From every direction, every shadow comes playfully grayish laughter. At times it transforms into an old man's ruffled weeping, at these times into a deeper growl of annoyance. The sound from cold, malicious words. The sorrow will be eternal. The whisper keeps saying we should kill old Vaish. They are just so giddy about it. I guess we should try to kill him. We shouldn't kill him then. The Whispers never get excited about anything good. His is such a terribly wounded soul. It is all by sunk beneath the grey blue blisters of guilt, and they are swelling ever so rapidly. The last silvery speck of hope could fade at any moment. What is going on? Wei says nothing. His otherworldly gaze is directed through you and past you to a spot further inside the chapel. His lips silently whisper a name over and over. I will find you, Adeline, and bring her out into the light. The shadows croak hoarsely in the old man's voice. Why do you seek this redemption? He was always the terrible leader and talentless mentor. He doomed everyone. The indignant tremble grows into a roar of righteous condemnation. He was arrogant, having no notion of his own wretchedness. He did not put his faith into the Emperor, but instead believed himself to be invincible. The voice grows weaker. It is now a young man, soft and full of anguish, and he paid for this mistake with our lives. It was cruel and painful. The voice grows heavy with a metallic clang. We begged him to reconsider, but he took our minds away, and as punishment, the shadow's speech is now gentler and more feminine. But we were loyal to him regardless. We tried to save him even though he had not saved us. The voice becomes cold, resonant with sorrow from beyond this world. He is guilty. Patient incoherently consumed by frightened servants. What twisted creatures are you? The mocking laughter of the old mountains, the mocking whisper. I am the victims, I am the murderer innocent, I am his guilt. How do I find Adeline? Adeline, she is there in the shadows. A tortured sight escapes his freely body. Many shadows lie. The true ghosts are hiding among the false ones. But I fear Teju's earnest prayer and old Stavros' words of disappointment. He always doubted my talents as a mentor. I hear poor Antonio scream, the scream he let out when he unwillingly gave up his last of his vitality. Annie's pleas and condemned her to an existence as a half-machine. I'll almost send Sevita's touch. She tried to save me, but she fell instead. So many voices on condemning me for what I did. Find them, separate the true voices from the false echoes.
Powers unseen uncover my path.
Death whispers my name.
Intriguing. I tread a path unexplored. The world trembles beneath my feet.
Stares off Weish mournfully. The muffled sob coming from the apparition almost seems to take physical form as it drifts towards the Quiemancer and envelops him. Weish blocks your path, expanding his arm in a gesture that both calls for restraint and pleads for mercy. Do not harm her, please. The poor girl is frightened to death. Let me talk to her. I cannot fail her again. Quiemancer, I order you to banish the warp spawn. Weish expression in a mixture of pain, horror and grief. He lowers his arms slowly. I know, your lordship. I know this is not Adeline, but an echo of the one who devoured her souls. I just wanted to see her again, hear her voice again for a brief moment. With jerky movement, as though shaken of shackled device, he picks up his staff. Ghost of my failure, now is your time to vanish. Weish breathes loud. Weish breathing is labored. Thank you, lordship. The burden was too heavy for me to bear. On the verge of fainting, he mutters the last of his strength as he sits down and one steps. What was that, Quiemancer? A reckoning, Lord Captain. A reckoning for my great arrogance. Demons have been pursuing me for years, following my scent, sending me dire messages, hunting me, and now they have me. The entities that manifested here during the ritual were banished, but a lingering echo of the prison has latched onto the shadows. It has sprouted in the darkness and pounced upon my mind. Why are they pursuing you? I am guilty. I wronged them. I had been promised a great future at the Skolatka Ficana, for my talents were exceptional, but they would not have it, and instead of serving on Holy Terra, I ended up here in the Expanse, where barely a gleam of the Astromonican reaches. My pride took a heavy blow, but my spirit was not cowed. I set about to assemble a choir unlike any yet seen here, a mighty, resonant, astonishing choir. Lady Theodora expended tremendous resources, bartering with captains and governors to produce astropath of my choosing. I brought together talents that budding genius under my authority. They were to ensure I would make a triumphant comeback. And they could do that for me, and that team of brilliant astropaths whose talents were all honed to perfection. Adeline, Anis, Antonius. Every one of them surpassed myself as I used to be. I saw that my time was coming, and I lied when I told you it was Lady Theodora who forced us to go through the ritual. The idea had been mine. When, in her paranoia, her ladyship set out to find spies aboard the ship, I made her an offer. A ritual that would give her their names in exchange for the fledgling freedom and my own. It was a good deal. She was willing to trade 7 astropaths for the names of the traitors, and I doomed them all. My pride killed them. If you got your freedom, why did you stay on the ship? At first, Lady Theodora wanted to have me executed for what had happened, but then she regained her composure and gracefully agreed to honor our deal. But where was the god to go? My dead were all here. What went wrong during the ritual? He chuckled bitterly, and scarlet stain blew on his blindfold made of scarlet manuscripts. Adeline was my ritual protector, only to become my greatest vulnerability. When the mad stream of other people's thoughts started to disorient my astropath, I became frightened to her. I hesitated. I wanted to spare her, and I lost control. The right thing to do would have been to sacrifice her, but I couldn't. I had always had a soft spot for her. Her genius had made her my favorite. What about the other voices? Were they your apprentices as well? No, all of them. Stavros was the oldest in the choir. He had been on a ship even longer than I. Mighty wise man, if acrimonious. He envied me and criticized my ambition, but I was fond of him all the same. Tidius was the ship confessor. Theodora had insisted on his presence. When it was over, he was the only one survivor, and he confronted me with angry accusation. I could not bear to listen to him, so I silenced him, killed him. Sevita was an ordinary servant. She fought the immaterial monsters until the word began to prevail. She tried to save me, to lead me away, but I did not listen. She stayed at my side until the last moment and died a terrible death, all because of my accursed pride. The rest were my voices. Antonius was the youngest. He had been in the choir only for a short while. When the situation turned dire, fear got the best of him, and I was infuriated by his weakness. I dominated Antonius' might and impelled him to use up every spark of his life force for the ritual. Annie's doom came even earlier. She was the one person who told me in front of the choir that the ritual was madness. In my anger, I ordered her servitorized. I believe I had to protect my authority. She died on the spot where you're standing now. I think she was still aware. More scarlet drops seeped through the choir master stained blindfold. All my voices. I remember the name of each and one of the slices I cut short within these walls. Now I know the truth. This is for the best. I can no longer carry this burden alone. With Lady Theodora dead, the thought of my crime being forgotten, erased from history, is unbearable. I want to be judged and condemned. Your ambition was worth the risk, and were simply unlucky with your students. The weak are designed to be stepping stone for the others on the path of knowledge. Accept the sacrifice that leads without regret. The choir master falls silent for a moment, trying to make the sense of your words. It is true. They are dead, and to follow them would be to undo all that I have achieved. Thank you for believing in me. I will not fail your lordship again. After a moment of hesitation, the old man holds out his staff to you. Please take it. This mighty instrument is the last reminder of Adeline and the others of my guild. It was with this tie I performed the last ritual. I have no right to carry it any longer and would like to be yours, a reminder of the painful lesson my pride has taught me. The tech priest reports a brief malfunction in Gale field generation that left the vessel exposed to the warp for a brief second. According to the enforcer report, something Dig managed to get into the ship and is now prowling the deck corridors of loading bay 5. Send the patrol into the affected chamber. Several armed teams left to search for the unknown creature that had invaded the vessel. All but 2 returned with nothing to show for it, but they turned prematurely grey and honest stories of what happening in loading bay 5. One team brought back a bizarre trophy allegedly found behind a shattered bulkhead. The last team was never seen or heard from again. Lord Captain, the Vox system intercepted a distress signal coming from the Imperial vessel. The system contains a ship that belongs to the planetary fleet of Dragonus, the capital of the Von Valensis dynasty. The transmission is repeated at regular intervals, but the message itself is corrupted. A cacophony of requests for help, groans and shouts. Why in the world is this your name that they are shouting, Lord Captain?
Let's seize the opportunity.
I am registering unconventionally high efficiency for the unit Cassia Orselio, relative to her limited experience. The unit status is being upgraded.
Knowledge is the key to everything, is it not, esteemed Magos? I learned this wisdom from your fellow priests, and it has helped me many times.
Your struggles are in vain.
The Emperor is with us!
I have read tomes of military tactics. Isn't this a job for the serfs? Witness the fury of House Orselio! I am a navigator, not a servitor.
I understand your intent. I am not your Xenos pet monkey. If I must, I am not your Xenos pet monkey. This tedium is fortune favors the swift.
As honor ordains. Trust me. Killing brings me no pleasure.
Don't touch me!
Damage is negligible.
Was that you? Or but of course. Anything else? There is only death, yours or mine.
My vow is to summon significant value. Running binary override. Request approved. Vulnerability analysis successful.
I'll do what it takes.
Isn't this a job for the another final painting? I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
I am not your Xenos. I deal death with my hands.
I am your blade and shield. The shadows will see it done. I feel nothing, fear nothing. As the tenets demand.
The world will bow.
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
We're crying. Don't cry. It's okay. My little kitty. Yes, I love you. Oh, poor kitty crying. Tears in your eyes. Let down my legs, yeah? Can I put the cuddle? A little cuddle, my kitty.
Embrace true power. How fascinating.
The Vizier. Would he be proud? Am I?
I tread a path unexplored.
The leader of the ravaged ship crew wiped the sweat from the bows of the motion characteristics of navigators. Not with his whole hand, but with 2 fingers moving from left to right and back so as not to touch his third eye by accident. This movement is the only sign of fatigue he allows himself. His posture is immaculate, shoulder wide, eyes front, as if he did not just emerge from a grueling battle and is simply greeting you on a bridge of an eventful day. My greeting, your lordship. There is no need for introduction. I know the heirs of the von Valensis line by sight. I am Han of House Cassini, the navigator of this vessel, and as the senior surveying officer, I assumed commander after the incident. Late Navigator, what an unexpected and pleasant meeting considering the circumstances. Hans decorously dips his head to Cassia. I have not had the honor of being personally acquainted with you, but of course I know the emblem of House Orselio. How fares the Honorable Regent? Cassia Orselio, she offers a reserved nod. Accordingly will not disguise the ice blue coldness of your words, Navigator's hand. However, I will tell Regent Aranto that you inquired after his health. You may pass on my best wishes to Navato Cassini. And now let's set the pleasantries aside. I'm sure the rock trader would like to ask a few questions. As Hans speaks, other glares at you with a dour attention. Up close you can plainly see that every one of them is a mutant. Their faces and bodies bear a mark of incredibly grotesque deformities, and the same as the muttering madmen who attacked you. However, Hans' associates seem perfectly clear-eyed and show no signs of madness. What happened to the ship and its crew, Han? The ship is assigned to the port of Dragonus. Some time ago, the captain was introduced to deliver a package, urgently by hand, to you, your lordship. We were even shown a picture of your face. The navigator's voice seemed calm, yet there is a tension in his eyes, which are trained on you. The disaster struck during the warp jump. I will never know all the details as I was preoccupied with my primary duties, but for some reason the captain decided to open the package. That, as you may have noticed, had a most destructive impact on the crew. Hans frowned. The package contains chaos artifact, a chaos bomb, if you will. The moment it was removed from the protective cocoon, the crew began to lose their minds and mutate. The first to be afflicted was the captain and the senior officer, but the effect spread with an incredible speed. Every deck was consumed by it, every last one. The raging mutants, no longer sane, damaged many systems. The ship was in distress and would have almost certainly been destroyed had it not restored the making of emergency exit from the warp. The people you see here are the only survivors, or rather the only ones who were able to retain from their lives and sanity. I gathered everyone I could, isolated the source of danger, and sent out the distress signal. We were adrift, waiting for help to come and fighting off mad crew members. Then you arrived. So the Chaos Bomb package was sent for me. Who's the sender? As far as I'm aware, the order came from Kunrad Vogtvier, the master of whispers in the rogue trader retinue. It is likely that he arranged the delivery, either personally or through intermediates. Khan pauses, then adds bluntly, almost brazenly. Your reaction suggests that you were not expecting the package of this sort. That is good to know. I had almost convinced myself the rogue trader was deliberately collecting chaos artifacts. The affairs of rogue traders do not concern you. Do not trouble yourself with needless questions. Something resembling grim desperation momentarily emerges in his eyes, but he nods. As you wish, Lord Captain. However, the sender wanted all of this. Han makes a sweeping gesture at the distraction and the corpses of the crew members around him. To happen to your ship, not ours. Were you not affected by the mutation and madness? Well, that depends. I was born a mutant, you see. Han smiles grimly and wearily. Navigators are taught to resist the influence of chaos, and so I have been at my as best I could. But I will be frank with you, I cannot be certain that I have not avoided it completely. There have been no visible indications yet. All sign points to Hunter in the truth, but you also notice clear evidence of just how difficult it is for him to struggle against the corruption. He's extremely tired, practically exhausted. Where is the artifact now? The tension in his posture and gaze becomes even more noticeable. I have placed it inside the protector of the artifact, which is more reliable than the previous repository. Unfortunately, the artifact, as powerful as this one, could be not destroyed under these circumstances, or rather I had no assurances that it would not disintegrate every one of us and scattered us across several light hours of neighboring space. But once we're off the ship, I will absolutely find a way to destroy this vile thing. I would still like to take a look at the artifact. You want to see the trinket that nearly wiped out the whole ship? Why, I have seen enough to stop anyone else from coming anywhere near it. I will give my life if I must to prevent that thing from hurting any more people. You stand between me and that which is mine. You will die for this. The container is covered in fine ornament of symbols, among which the seals of the Nobilis Nobile and personal coat of arms of House Cassini stands out. The container is closed and sealed, but the lock does not seem particularly thick. Take the after out of the container.
A revelation was sent to me. The world trembles beneath my feet.
Captain, urgent report from the vessel shrine. A group of unknown Salients has invaded his temple and plundered the incorruptible relic of your ancestors, slaughtering devoured worshippers as they went. His high factotum is among the casualties. Had Master Montag and Mistress Abreg not arrived in time, fortunately Master Darnock survived the remains conscious, albeit in great pain. He implores your lordship to come to the temple and hear his confession. And so it comes to pass, Kibla's somber voice fills the broadcast. I perform a reading of his turret after the morning watch sirens, but the vision sent by the Undying One were too indistinct. I saw rivers of blood flowing towards the bones of the dead, and the blurred figure laughing, treading upon the ashes of the fallen. It is now clear the Undying One desires me to follow the figure's tag. Thus my hunt begins.
Intriguing.